Hello everybody and welcome back to Arizona Adventure Park. In the beginning, sorry if I might sound a little bit nasal, if this is the correct word, but I have still to fight with that annoying cold, so yeah, there's that. In the last episode I told you that I built a little something right here close to the Kowalski horses and the Bactrian camel, and that was this little building that I was showing you right a second before that. I had a little bit of a counter for drinks in there and also a toilet so that our guests can have drinks and leave them at the toilet again. Yeah, so today we are going to build in this area. So we are not connecting right now to the Kowalski horses, but we are building in the area of our train station. We are going to finish the train track this episode as well, but we are going to build something pretty massive and something that I'm very proud of. It might remind you a little bit of the Opera House in Australia, in Sydney. Which was a little bit of an inspiration, but I made my own thing out of it. So this is going to be the massive elephant house. I might say it's going to be the Savannah house because there's not only the elephants in there, but there's also in there the Scimitar Horned Oryx and as well the Cape Buffalo and the Ostrich. So this is going to be our second big savanna habitat that I was talking about for quite some time, as I built the other savanna habitat with the hyenas, the giraffe, zebra, what else did we have in there? Springbok and the wildebeest. Yeah. So today it is happening, and it's the second to last habitat in the safari zone. So afterwards we are finished with this big area in our zoo. And yeah, I'm very excited for you to see what I'm building right here. So what I wanted to show you is that it is not that complicated to build a building like this. So what you are seeing right here is I'm building one wall for the building, which I was using the white concrete pieces. No, it's not the concrete pieces, but I don't know the word in English. Is it called chalk? No, chalk is what you write with on the board. Yeah, I took these white concrete pieces, let's name it that way right now, put some one-sided glass in there, some of the metal beams, and also from the new DLC these small wooden parts. And what I did then was copying those around, use the circulation, and made some kind of a dome out of it. So very simple, something you all can do, or most of you learned in the meantime, because there's so many tutorials out there how to build a dome or a bubble or something like that. There's also a tutorial on my channel as well in the classroom series, so you can check that out if you want to. And if you didn't see how I did it here in this video. So as I said, it's quite simple. What I did then after I created the dome, I deleted half of it because I only needed half of the dome. Then I copied it once again, put it to the other side, just moved it a little bit yeah, to the right and to the left, which doesn't make sense. I moved it a little bit. Okay, and then I copied once again a single wall, moved it like this so that you don't have this symmetric build. I like to build asymmetric builds. Then copied the wall once again to connect the pieces with each other. sorry. Yeah, connecting the pieces with each other. And after that, we have the ground structure of our building. This is very simple to do. If you use non-grid pieces, I have to say, just use only non-grid pieces, because otherwise this would not be possible in that way. So the next part is we are going to build the roof for the building. I wanted the roof to overlap a little bit, and I used once again those concrete pieces. So if you do that, just build it half that way, copy it around, and then once again connect it to one building, and then copy it and turn it around once again, so that you once again have this circular shape. And then we're doing it like we did with the dome, just with the roof pieces right here, until we have a finished circle. Yeah, that's perfect. And then when we have that, once again we are going to delete half of it, because we only would need one half. Use that one, copy it around, put it on the other side of the building, put it in the right direction, and then half of the roof is finished. So if you want to leave it that flat, you can do that, and you just have to finish the roof in the middle of the building, just using the same pieces. What I did then was I wanted to give it a little bit more volume and make it look a little bit more interesting. So I wanted to go like something like the Opera House in Sydney, as I mentioned before. I used the 15-degree angle and copied those pieces, and then moved it 15 degrees upwards. Did the whole thing 3 times, and in the middle of the building I wanted to have something like you would have in a greenhouse, so I wanted to have a glass roof. So we still had left one of our glass bubbles that we used for the flamingo aviary and also used for the hippodome, for the hippodomes. So I took that, put it in the middle of it, and the glass roof was finished. So this glass bubble, you might say, but how do I build something like that? As I said in the beginning, there is a classroom episode on my channel where you can exactly see how this is being built. So if you're interested, just check that out. It's not that hard to build that as well. And then I moved those roof pieces just 15 degrees, 30 degrees and 45 degrees to the right side, that we have this interesting shape. Did that from the other side as well, but 15, 30 and 45 degrees to the left, so that those pieces would overlap, and just made sure that they will touch on the end of the roof, so that we got this pretty shape. So you can see it is not that much of work to do. It's not that difficult to build something like that. If you just use some easy mechanics like the circulation mode and copy things around, copy and paste, it's pretty easy, and the whole building without decorating the inside took me about an hour to build. So it's not that much time that I needed to create this. Yeah, so here I was building the entrance for our visitors so that they can enter the building, because we wanted it to be a building where our visitors can go in and watch the animals as well, like you can do in almost every elephant house. Yeah, with that being said, I noticed something that is very common for us in Europe, so that we have these warm houses in our zoos, like for elephants, for big cats, and for other animals, aviaries, and so on. In the times when I was in America and visiting zoos in California, and also many zoos in Florida and North and South Carolina and Georgia, I noticed that there's not that much of warm houses in there, because yeah, I guess it's because of a warmer environment or a warmer area where the animals live. And there's not many elephant houses or giraffe houses or something like that, because the animals do have a stable that is most of the times very simple created, so that they have a little bit of shade and are protected by the weather. But yeah, they don't. They usually don't have those huge houses where people can walk in and watch the animals. Yeah, so as I said, I wanted it to be a house where the animals can go in and hide there, have a nap in there, and where our guests can also visit the animals on the inside. From the safety standard point of view, this would not be a very safe building, I guess, because as a visitor you can come very close to the animals, especially yeah, when it comes to the buffaloes and the oryx. The barrier wouldn't be that great for those animals. As you can see, we only have these rope barriers that might be fine in theory for the elephants, because that's not the only fence that we have. We also have a metal fence before that, so that our visitors would not be able to come too close to the animals. But yeah, I guess this won't hold back the elephants, the buffalo, or the oryx. Maybe the ostrich, but not the other animals. But hey, we are in Planet Zoo, and this works in the game, and it looks nice. So we are not. Yeah, our intention is not to make it hyper realistic, but make it look nice, and I guess that's what it's doing. So I'm decorating the inside of the building right here, using some palm trees and some desert plants to make it look nice. I also decorated the inside of the indoor habitat for the elephants. Put down some rocks and some plants that you can't see right now, but you will see later on. But decided in the end that I had to change that, because it wouldn't make that much sense to have those plants in the building unprotected like this, because the animals would feed from them and would destroy the whole thing. So I deleted it and put in some planters on the inside and put the plants in there. Which would make more sense, but in the end we would have the same problem, because the planters are not high enough, so the animals could still reach the plants and feed from them. So yeah, but it looks a little bit more realistic in the end. So here I was building a lake where the elephants could have a little swim in there. Yeah, unfortunately I noticed that it was not deep enough for them to swim in there, but yeah, they can walk in there and cool down a little bit, so that's pretty cool. I also did something like a mud bath on the other side of the lake, which I decided later on that I would not include it to the habitat, because I didn't want the habitat to go to go all the way to the Kowalski horses and the Bactrian camels. I wanted it to be a little bit smaller and have one more additional habitat in between, because we still had to include the sable antelope that I usually wanted to have in there before I put in the Kowalski horse, I think. But then I got sick and the DLC came out, and yeah, and so on. Yeah, here you could see the plants that I was talking about in the inside of the house. And I also created the gate for our animals to walk into and out of the house. I did it in a similar pattern that I made the entrance for our guests, and I put in also something like wooden gates that you could close when the animals are inside the building, so that you could clean the outside and take care of the animals. And yeah, but in the end it didn't work, so I had to remove those wooden doors, because our elephants weren't able to leave the building anymore, because the hitbox of them is so massively big that that I had to delete those little bit of wooden doors that I had in there, so that the animals could leave the building again. The elephants, all the other animals could. Yeah, and here you can see the planters I put in here. Very unusual, with some flowers as well. You would not see that in an actual habitat for elephants or other grass-eating animals, because they would feed from the plants, and you would not see the plants for a long time. Okay, now it's finally time to take care of the outdoor area. Yeah, here I was thinking about putting down some sunshades for our guests, but it took too much away from the view to the habitat, so I decided no, we don't want to have that, and I didn't do it. Yeah, some walls around here, and then in this area I decided I want to have the same thing that we have on the other side for the Kowalski horses. I wanted to have this little building with some drinks, and also with a toilet in here, because the next toilet that we have in the game, and the next food and drinks that we have in this area, is the big safari restaurant, which is a little bit far away from here. So I didn't want to have our guests to walk that far, and to have something in here. Maybe then our guests would come to this area a little bit more frequently. In the meantime, I also did some work on the zoo, because I think I told you about that I wanted to do something about the animal management. Because I had so many animals in there, especially with the clouded leopards. I was pretty stunned, because I had like 10 or 12 of them in their habitat, which got way out of control. And so I did something that I already did in Swamp Lake Zoo as well, because I had a similar problem in there. First of all, I chose to select the aging of the animals, that they would age in twice the time that they are usually aging. That gives me a lot more time to build and to play in the zoo before the animal population explodes once again. And then I decided to sell all the animals that I had in the zoo. So every single one, even the Kowalski horses that I bought in the last episode, I sold every single animal. But not the tortoises, because that would taken ages before they were fully grown and before I could sell them. And also I have an albino tortoise, so I didn't want to sell that one as well. So yeah, with that being said, I decided to sell all of the animals and buy new animals for every single habitat in the zoo. This took me about 1.5 hours. Yeah, but finally we're back on track, and everything looks nice again. We don't have too much animals in there right now, and it also will take quite some time before we have a similar problem. Yeah, and I think if you look at the animals afterwards, when we have a look at the elephants, the antelopes, and buffaloes and the ostrich, you might see a change in the performance of the park as well, because the problem that we had in the last episode with the pixely animals and with the weird look when they were moving a little bit too fast, I think the problem isn't there anymore. So yeah, with that being said, if this will stay that way in the future, I'm very happy with it, and I think we can build yeah, for quite some while in the zoo again. Yeah, we are almost finished with the elephant habitat. I hope you guys do enjoy and do like what you see. Here on the inside I decided I want to separate some of the smaller animals from the elephants, so I put in this wooden post on the side here, so that our antelopes, our ostrich and the buffaloes could walk in there and have their food and have a rest, and the animals couldn't walk in there. Unfortunately, I had the problem that these posts were too close to each other, so that the animals could, so none of the animals could walk in there. So I had to delete something of them, and in the end, our antelopes and ostriches and so on were able to walk into that area. Yeah, so as we are coming to an end of this episode, and I leave you with some beautiful views in this great habitat, like yeah, like here, I really do love how the whole thing looks, and the building in the background, and this huge open savanna with the lake in the foreground. In the next episode we are going to build the last habitat for the safari zone, which is going to be the habitat for the sable antelopes. Then we are going to finish our train track, so make it look right, make it go through the habitats and not behind, yeah, along behind the habitats or behind the fence, that I said in the last episodes, like we have with the Nile ledgeway, and also with the rhino savanna. So I want to fix that as well. And the episode after that we are going to have a little tour with our safari train, and take a train ride and look at everything that we built in the safari zone, and then we are moving forward and build in another area or creating a new area in our beautiful Arizona Adventure Park. Okay, so with that being said, we are at the end of the episode. I'm gonna leave you alone with the animals. Just yeah, just enjoy and relax a little bit and watch the animals enjoy their beautiful, huge habitat. I hope you guys did like the video. If you did so, leave a like, subscribe to my channel, as we are so damn close to 500 subscribers. So I hope we can yeah, I hope we can reach that goal this month. And yeah, have a great time, enjoy the rest of the video, and I hope to see you guys in the next episode when we are finishing the Safari Zone in Arizona Adventure Park. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye!